This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so yeah, so the other link that we had got expired, that credentials got expired, so we got this one. Okay, so yeah, so thing is like I was too tired, and that's the
Oh,
reason I
it's
could.
okay, no problem. I can understand.
Yeah, so it's like yeah, so
Uh,
we were
Firstly, may I ask your name? Is it Aditya?
yeah, Vikramaditya. You can call me either Vikram or you can call me Aditya as well as you like.
Okay.
Yeah, some people call me Vikram, some people call me Aditya. Yeah, so we were discussing about the ABAP concept, right? So I'll just open this document with you. I'll open this. Okay. So what we'll just do is we'll go ahead with the basics overview, quick overview of things that we are going to cover, and then we are going to start off with the real-time scenarios.
Can you please, try me like, because I don't know, I know a lot, but I do not have any working experience in that. So can you please
Okay,
guide me
so
in that way?
uh, your voice is a bit low, but I can understand that you wanted me to start with ABAP first, and then we'll go ahead with the what do you call our
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, that's what initially you told me that. So
Yeah.
okay, let us go ahead with the basics of ABAP then, because I was about to start on ABAP. We'll start with the ABAP first.
ABAP is separate for every function module, right?
No, no, no,
Logic is
no.
same.
It's common for all. Only a few things like see the naming conventions, the table names will all change, but the logic will be absolutely the same. The way we write, the only logic that will be completely different is for the HR. Okay, only for HR we'll have a different logic, but rest of other things will be same.
Okay.
Okay, so just go ahead with. Okay, so I guess like okay, I'm just sharing my screen. Now, are you aware of this R3 architecture? I hope you do, right?
Yes.
Okay, so normally what we do is we just discuss about these things quickly. These are the basic introduction part that we have for introduction to ERP, how ERP works, and what is SAP stands for. You want me to explain anything in this? Please let me know, because I mean, like, since you are already from SAP background, I guess you already are aware of these things. But if you want me to explain something in this, basic ERP introduction, I will just do that, and then we'll move to
Yeah.
ABAP part.
The basic introduction is enough. Like, what is the, I mean, in R3 architecture, where ABAP is standing, and
Okay.
like how, yeah, where is it? I mean, like,
Okay, let me start with this ABAP. I mean, like the three-tier architecture, and then I'll explain you where exactly ABAP stands, and then we'll go ahead with our regular content of quick ABAP discussions, and then we'll go ahead with the HANA. Once we are clear with the basics of ABAP, we'll go on to the HANA ABAP. Okay, so now you're already aware that ABAP is the base for doing any programming in the SAP technologies. So here we are
yes.
discussing about three-tier architecture. So basically we had one-tier architecture, we had two-tier architecture, and now we have the three-tier architecture. One-tier architecture is like our laptop, our desktop, anything individual system is called one-tier architecture. If it is not connected to internet or not connected to any LAN, your individual system can be considered as one-tier architecture. But when it comes to two-tier architecture, we'll have client-server architecture. So you have a server and you are connecting from different clients. That's client-server architecture. Now then we have something called, in the client-server architecture, the major drawbacks were that if you have more number of clients, suddenly the number of clients have increased, or the number of positions from the client have increased. Suddenly the server load on the server will be high. If the load on the server is extremely high, then it might hang up. The system might hang up. So for that reason, we go ahead with the application tier. The application tier actually manages the load of the presentation. So we have in front of the presentation tier, we have the screens, and from the screens, whenever we give input, it will come to the dispatcher, and the dispatcher will control the load, and it will not completely give the load to the database. It will control the load, and then it will give the information to the database. So how the database processes is, every time a work process will do one work at a time. Each time a work process will do one work at a time. So that is what happens here. So in the application tier, dispatcher actually has controls all the work processes, and each work process will conduct one work at a time. So if let's say we have 4 people giving some 4 different commands, and then there are only 3 work processes. This is just a hypothetical example that we are discussing about. Now in this, like if you have all the 4 requests, the 4th request will be in the queue at the dispatcher. It will be in the queue. Queue is a technical term, just like we have a normal queue. So it will be waiting there, and then the next thing will, it will happen, and we'll go ahead with this. What do you call, our dispatcher will again do the work in the work process. Any work process will become free, that will be given that. So these all things are already known to you. So I'll start from I wanted to start from the beginning. That's the reason I'm explaining from here. So you already know the concept of buffering also. It enables us to get the data stored temporarily in the application tab. This is what we have. So the central process in the R3 application layer is a dispatcher. Together with the operating system, the dispatcher controls the resources of the R3 applications. So the main task of the dispatcher includes distributing load to the work processes, connecting to the presentation layer, and organizing communication. So these all things you are already aware of. The dispatcher dispatches the requests one after the other to the available work processes. So data is actually processed in the work process. The user that sent the request through the SAP GUI is not usually assigned the same work process, because there is no fixed assignment of the work processes. So once the data has been processed, the processing result from that work process is sent through the dispatcher back to the SAP GUI. So the SAP GUI interprets this data and generates the output screen for the user with the help of the operating system on the front end computer. So we have something like this. This is the same application tier and database tier we are discussing side by side. We don't have the presentation side tier on the screen. So all the ABAP work happens in the application server. The process happens in the application server, and then the final command goes to the database and hits the database and bring the data. Now here we have native SQL statements and OpenSQL statements. OpenSQL statements are those which actually go to the local buffers and check for the data and then come back to the database and get the data from there. Native SQL statements actually can directly go to the database and then bring the data from there. So native SQL statements were big no-no before the HANA server. HANA was introduced, but after the HANA was introduced, they have made it sure that whenever we have this HANA database, directly native SQL statements are recommended in the HANA database. This is what we have. So we have this OpenSQL and we have native SQL statements. So ABAP programming is designed for so these are the different things that we have. So all the ABAP programs will be processing the application tag. We have the presentation tag, application tag, and database tag. ASAP methodology is something which we'll discuss later. That would be a common thing. Yeah, anything that you want me to ask in this regard regarding the 3-tier architecture?
What's the HANA architecture? I mean, ABAP HANA architecture and ABAP R3 architecture, how it is?
Actually, your voice is coming a bit low, so can you please type it in the chat so that I can reply you back? Okay, big difference between the HANA ABAP architecture and SQL architecture. No, there's nothing like ABAP SQL architecture. No, the architecture will be for the SAP server. There will not be any specific architecture for ABAP. ABAP is just a coding language on the software. So the software will be having the architecture, but not ABAP. ABAP is the language which can be used in either of these two. So the architecture of HANA server is what we are going to discuss. It will be the same, but there are certain things that we have to discuss about the HANA architecture. So when we talk about the HANA architecture, that HANA ABAP will have a different functionality where we can also use native SQL statements.
Okay, Aditya. You can continue.
Okay, fine. Anytime if my voice is breaking, if you feel that the voice is breaking, then just ping me, then I'll switch to some other network. Sometimes networks keep getting disturbance, so I'll switch on to this other network.
Now it is fine. I'm able to hear clearly.
Okay, great. Yeah. Okay, so this was a quick recap of the architecture that we have, which you already know. So we'll go ahead with the concept of so this is a 3-tier architecture. We already know this. Okay, so we need to understand the need for ABAP, know the types of ABAP for programs, create reports, write the program code, test the program. Okay, these are all the things that we'll do now. So we'll create a program and we'll see the features of it. So what is an ABAP? ABAP program. So ABAP is a fourth generation programming language that you can use in three different ways. So you can select and edit data you want to process in the traditional way. You can write reports. You can communicate with via dialog programmings. Okay, so what exactly we mean by dialog programming is, so did I tell you in detail about the topics? No, right? So what exactly we do in the reports, what we do in
Yes.
each topic, what are we going to do? So we're going to do somewhere around 30 real-time projects like this. So basically, the first and foremost topic that we have is data dictionary. So we will have something called data dictionary. Before getting into the data dictionary concept, I'll be telling you some basics. Okay, before the data dictionary concept, we need to understand certain things like, okay, I'll just tell you this quick syllabus of this. It will be better to go through the syllabus. So session 1, we normally discuss about the ERP fundamentals, why ERP implementation strategies and intricacies, comparison of existing ERP products about SAP, features and advantages of SAP. Now, the second session would be discussing about the three-tier architecture and how the three-tier architecture works. And then we have this introduction about the ABAP workbench. So here, okay, so we need to first understand the SAP architecture. SAP architecture is nothing but the three-tier architecture that we have discussed. So the same thing. And then we have to discuss about the HANA architecture. How the HANA architecture is different from the normal SAP architecture is what we'll discuss in the coming sessions. And we'll also discuss about the hardware and software requirements that we have here. Once again. Once again. Okay, so I'm just back. Like now we need to understand about the ABAP workbench basics and all this, like repository packages and all these things we need to discuss. So let's go ahead and first create a simple program. We'll create a simple program. Actually, this is an old syllabus. I have the latest syllabus also. So based on that, we'll go ahead with the So we'll discuss once we are done with this basic things. We'll the basic things. We'll go ahead and understand the HANA ABAP. So directly going into HANA ABAP will confuse us a bit. So I'll stick to this, get a clarity over the basics, and then we'll move on immediately to the HANA ABAP. Okay, so here. So the first topic would be the session one would be the ERP fundamentals, why ERP, and then I'll be telling about the various topics that we have in ABAP. Like in data dictionary, we are going to do some 3 projects. We're going to discuss a lot of topics here, and this would be starting after some sessions like the projects. So this is just an overview of all the projects that we are going to cover. So we're going to cover somewhere around roughly around 30 projects overall. So it's like, okay, technical features, and then we have web app login. Here we will discuss about the creation of first program, best practices, login you already aware of. So what are the roles and responsibilities also I'll explain you in detail. So first let us do a simple program, and then we'll understand that data types also we'll understand. So we'll go ahead with the simple program here. So we need to be aware of these basics, like yeah. Can you just tell me your email ID?
Kadimalla Yamuna, KADI MELLA DI D for dog, D Kadi MELLA Yamuna YAMUNA
No dot,
at
right?
Gmail. No dot at Gmail.
Okay, I've sent you a document. You can keep looking at that, you can refer that, and then what I'll be doing right now on the system is something which we can catch, and then we can also go ahead and you can also go ahead and practice the same thing to log in and create the first program. So because this is the initial stage, we'll go a bit slowly, obviously. So and I want you to understand the step-by-step process, everything. So just that's the reason I've sent you the mail. Did you receive that mail?
Let me check. Yeah, I received it.
Okay, so it has got a document, and in that document you can just go through that. You just need to first log in into the GUI, SAP GUI, which you already know. So we just need to log in into the SAP GUI. I'm logging into the CCC with the credentials, and after logging into the credentials, what we need to do is we need to go ahead with the AC38 transaction. Either you can do it from AC38 transaction, or you can do it from SE80 transaction, SE38 or SE80. These are the two transactions from which we can do this, SE38 or SE80. So SE38, you can go ahead with SE38, and from here we need to give the program name. So as I mentioned in the document, the program name should always start with either Z or Y. It cannot start with anything other than Z or Y, because SAP has reserved, as you might be already knowing, SAP has reserved all the alphabets from A to X. So you cannot create a program from A to X. So I repeat, I went into a transaction code called SE38. This is ABAP editor. We can also do it from SE80 transaction, SE38. This is ABAP editor. And now here we'll be giving a program name starting with Z or starting with Y.
What is the difference between SE38 and SE80?
SE80 is actually a workbench. It's not just one thing that we are going to do in SE38. You are going to do plenty of things in SE80. So when we go to SE80, it's a total workbench. It's a package of multiple things. So you can create a program, you can create a function model, you can create a database table, you can create screens. So you can create a lot of things in SE80. But this SE38 is specific for creation of program only.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll also do it, because anyways, going forward we have to create a package there in SE, and then we have to come here and come back here, and then we have to do it. So it will take some time. So but as of now we are doing it from SE38, and you should start the program name with either Z or Y. So I'll go ahead with Z. Z, yeah. Oh, I think I can go for Yamuna. No need to
Okay,
go
something.
Z, because your name starts with Y, right? So
Yeah.
it will be acceptable. So okay, so what did I just do in the first pop-up? I gave some description. It can be any description, and I just gave that type as executable program, say save. And in the second pop-up, I'll click on local object. I'll tell you about this later, why we are creating it and what are the packages and all. So here we'll just write my first program.
Write is like printf.
Write is a command. Yeah, SAP command, right?
It is like printf in C program, right? Like
Exactly.
to.
Exactly. Yeah, that's right. Even in HANA ABAP also the same commands will be useful. Only a few commands will be added upon. There will be some additions to it, but these all commands which we are learning will also be useful in HANA ABAP as well. So it just because it's a next version of it, right? So that's it. Okay. So now, yeah, it's just like printf, and just save it. Syntax check, activate, and execute. So you get this output back. Now what we'll do is let's open up that file that I have shared it with you, get an overview of it, and then again do once again. So creation of first program. So what did I just do? I logged into the SAP system using some username and password, and then I logged into SC38 here. And in the SC38, I just entered the program name either either it can start with Y or Z. Then we went okay. In general, in the real-time projects, we'll use Y for testing and Z for development. Then I mean like Z RAM or Y RAMs. Create F. Either you can click on create button or you can also click on F5 function key on the screen. Now, once it's been done, we have to click on the first pop-up. In the first pop-up, we are giving title Yamuna program, type executable program. It should be selected. This type should be selected. Next pop-up, we have to click on the local object. You're at the editor screen. In the editor screen, we are writing some write statement. Then we have saved it, checked it, activate, and execute. So these are the things that we have. Okay, is it okay? Shall we do it once again? If you can just go through the steps. If you're okay with the steps, we'll do it once again.
Check
Hello.
means hello. Check
Yeah,
means is it like error detection? Like will it
exactly.
read?
Exactly.
Okay.
Syntax check. Yeah, error detection. So what we'll do is we'll purposefully miss one syntax and then we'll see how it will show the error down. So we'll do that one as well now. Basically, when we use the write statement, we have to conclude that with a period. Period in the sense full stop. We need to conclude it with full stop. So that full stop, we'll see how it will work. I mean, if I don't give the full stop, it will throw an error. So how it will throw an error on these things, we'll see now. Okay, so is it fine? Like, can we go ahead?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, I'll do once again now. So I'll start with Z. ZJH underscore Yamuna. Click on create. Then we need to go to this executable. You have to select it. You cannot type it. You have to select it from the done. Save, and then you have to click on local object. Local object in the sense it will be $tmp. So it will stay only in development server. You cannot move it to quality and production. So for all the real-time projects, we have to select it as some package. That package we have to create in SC80, which we'll do it later point of time. As of now, we are using it as local object, that is $tmp. So just for practice. Okay, so we clicked on this local object, and then say enter. here we'll say write that's it. Now here what I do is I'll remove this full stop, I'll remove this period, save, and I can use the shortcut as well, Control S, and for check Control F2. So here that error will come here.
Okay. It's not complete. Period.
Sorry, Amna.
It is showing. It is popping an error, right?
Yeah.
Error.
Yes. We are purposefully creating it.
Yes.
How the errors
Yeah.
are getting populated. Okay, and the reason why this is getting is because I have removed the period here. I would remove the full stop here.
Yeah. Yes.
So just to see how the errors are getting errors will get populated in the future, we are doing it. Okay, so go ahead with the full stop here. Save. That's it. My first program. Okay, that's it. So this is about the creation of first program. So the next thing that we have to discuss is about the, about this, what you call, uh, we need to discuss about the data types and all. But I mean, like, do you have the server details with you?
No, I don't have.
Okay.
Can you please mail?
I'm sorry.
Can you please mail it?
Okay. Okay, because let us do it together. You share me your screen, and then you can, you know, we can go ahead and
Just wait.
okay. I'll just mail you later. I'll just mail you later. But what you can do is
Okay.
you can take the access now. I have already given the access to you. You can just do it. I'll keep telling you. You just do it. No need to look at this that points document that I've sent you. I'll tell you. You just do it.
Yeah, I can. Tell me.
Because the details will be with Archana, so I just need to take it in that. My phone is not with me, so I'll just do it. Just type
Okay,
SC38.
no problem. I mean, I have control here. Okay.
Yeah, you have a control. You have complete control of the screen. And Yamuna, I mean, like, where are you from? Location?
I'm from Andhra Pradesh.
Okay, అయితే తెలుగు వచ్చా ఓకే ఓకే అయితే మీరు తెలుగులో కూడా అడగొచ్చు అంటే లైక్ థింగ్ ఇస్ లైక్ ఐ మీన్ లైక్ పీపుల్ ఫ్రమ్ నార్త్ ఐ టెల్ దెమ్ టు టాక్ ఇన్ హిందీ సో దట్ లైక్ ఇంకొక లాంగ్వేజ్ ఉంటే కొన్ని ఇంగ్లీష్ లో క్లియర్ లేనివి మళ్ళీ నేను రిపీట్ చేయొచ్చు మళ్ళీ రిపీట్ చేస్తాను అండ్ అండ్ ఇంకోటి ఏంటంటే మనకి ఇప్పుడు మీరు అడిగేటప్పుడు కూడా ఒక్కొక్కసారి తెలుగులో అయితే కంఫర్టబుల్ గా ఉంటుంది అట్లా అని
అవును ఓకే
ఎగ్జిక్యూటబుల్ ఫస్ట్ వన్. యా పర్ఫెక్ట్. సేవ్ క్లిక్ అవన్నీ ఏమి ఇవ్వద్దు, అంటే అవి నేను ఏంటి అనేది తర్వాత చెప్తాను. అవన్నీ ఇప్పుడు ప్రజెంట్ అయితే వస్తుంది. సో సేవ్ క్లిక్ చేయండి. క్లిక్ చేశాక ఇక్కడ మీరు $TMP అనేది అది డిఫాల్ట్ ప్యాకేజ్ అనమాట, SAP వాళ్ళు ఇచ్చేది. అది లోకల్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ కోసం. అంటే మనం లోకల్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ క్లిక్ చేయడం చేసిన $TMP ఇచ్చి సేవ్ చేసిన రెండు ఒకటే, అంటే దానికి రిక్వెస్ట్ నెంబర్ జనరేట్ అవ్వదు. అది ఎందుకు అనేది నేను క్లియర్ గా చెప్తాను. సో లోకల్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ అనేది జస్ట్ ప్రాక్టీస్ కొరకే, ప్రాక్టీస్ ఓన్లీ ఫర్ ప్రాక్టీస్. యూ కెన్ either you can click on save or local object, that's fine. Yeah. That's it. Save and syntax check.
Control F2.
Control S2, Control F2 will not work in this remote server, Yamna. అయితే మీరు అది ఆ ఐకాన్ తీసుకోవాల్సి వస్తుంది. నార్మల్ గా మీరు డైరెక్ట్ లాగిన్ అయినప్పుడు పని చేస్తాయి అవి, ఇంకా రిమోట్ సర్వర్ కాబట్టి పని చేయదు. దాని పక్కది యాక్టివేట్, దాని పక్కది యాక్టివేట్ చేస్తే ఏమవుద్ది అనేది కూడా నేను చెప్తాను మీకు. Yeah, execute. Yeah, that's it. So ఇది, this is your first program. Yeah. అయితే ఇప్పుడు ఓకే కదా, కంఫర్టబుల్ కదా?
ఓకేనండి. అండ్ ఈవెన్ మీరు అబాప్ బేసిక్స్ చెప్పినా, ఈవెన్ ఇంకా నేను ఏమైనా నేర్చుకోవాలి అని ఉంటే గనక మీ దగ్గర వీడియోస్ కానీ డాక్యుమెంట్స్ కానీ అబాప్ ఏమైనా ఉంటే షేర్ చేయండి. అంటే మీరు మొత్తం టైం నాకు స్పెండ్ చేయలేకపోవచ్చు కదా అబాప్ చెప్పడానికి.
Definitely, that's very true actually. What you can do is, the best point is you can ask me what are the things, దాంతో మీకు చాలా టైం సేవ్ అవుతుంది. ఎందుకంటే there might be certain things that you are already aware of and I have been telling repeatedly, so it will be wasting your time. And sometimes what happens, there might be very important thing which I might assume that you know, that you might not know. అట్లా చాలా సార్లు అవుతుంది. అందుకే ఏంటంటే that's a good thing is that syllabus ఒకటి and material ఒకటి మీకు పంపిస్తాను. You can just go through that and whenever there is anything that you can get back to me. I'll do that today. Yeah.
Okay. వీడియోస్ ఉన్న పంపించండి అబాప్వి, ఎందుకంటే నాకు చూస్తే కొంచెం ఐడియా వస్తుంది కదా అబాప్
వీడియోస్ అంటే చూడాలి, బట్ డాక్యుమెంట్ అయితే పంపిస్తాను. సో నేను చెక్ చేసి పంపిస్తాను. షూర్,
చేయండి.
షూర్. అయితే ఇంకోటి ఏంటంటే మనకి ఇలా ఇంటరాక్టివ్ గా ఉండాలి ప్రోగ్రామ్, అంటే ఇప్పుడు మొత్తం సెషన్స్ ఇంటరాక్టివ్ ఉండాలి. అండ్ నేను మీకు ఒక టాపిక్ చెప్పిన తర్వాత మళ్ళీ అసైన్మెంట్ ఇచ్చినప్పుడు మీరు చేసేయడం అట్లా చేస్తూ ఉంటే మనకి ఈజీగా ఉంటుంది.
ప్రాక్టీస్ చేయనప్పుడు యూజ్ ఉండదు.
ఎగ్జాక్ట్లీ. అయితే ఏమవుతుందంటే 99% ఆఫ్ ద people కి ఏమవుతుందంటే 99% of the participants కి ఏమవుతుందంటే they feel they will become very confident when I'm discussing the topic. Then later, once we complete the class, they will think they will practice, but they will not have time to practice because ఒకదాని తర్వాత ఒకటి ఏదో వర్క్ రావడము, ఎవరో మాట్లాడడము, ఇంకేదో వంట వర్క్ ఉంటుంది. సో all these things they keep on coming one after the other. So once we sit, we have to also complete the practice. అప్పటికప్పుడే చేసేస్తే ఇట్స్ a part of, ఇంకా క్లాస్ అలానే ఉంది అని చెప్పి కంటిన్యూ చేసేసుకుంటే అయిపోతుంది మనకి. విల్ బికమ్ వెరీ కాన్ఫిడెంట్ ఇన్ ఇట్. సో దట్స్ ఇట్. సో ఎందుకంటే మనం ఈ ప్రాక్టీస్ మీరు చేస్తే నేను చెప్పిన దానికి ఇప్పుడు మన ఈ రియల్ టైం లైవ్ క్లాస్ కి యూజ్. లైవ్ క్లాస్ లో మెయిన్ ఏంటంటే మీరు ఎంతవరకు ఉన్నారు, మీకు ఎక్కడ ప్రాబ్లం ఉంది, ఎక్కడ మీరు చేయగలుగుతున్నారు, ఎక్కడ చేయట్లేకపోతున్నా, అవన్నీ నేను చూసుకుంటాను కాబట్టి ఇది మీకు యూజ్ అవుతుంది. ఓకే, సో ఫైన్, దిస్ ఇస్ గ్రేట్, అబ్సల్యూట్లీ ఫైన్. ఇప్పుడు నేను ఏంటంటే డేటా టైప్స్ అనే కాన్సెప్ట్ స్టార్ట్ చేయాలి. అయితే డేటా టైప్స్ కాన్సెప్ట్ స్టార్ట్ చేయాలి అంటే ఇప్పుడు చేయొచ్చు అంటారా, తర్వాత కంటిన్యూ చేయమంటారా? యాజ్ యూ విష్. మీరు కంటిన్యూ చేయమంటే నేను చేసేస్తాను అట్లా.
రేపు కంటిన్యూ చేయండి. ఈలోగా నాకు మెటీరియల్ పంపించండి, నేను కొంచెం చూసుకుంటుంటాను డేటా టైప్స్ అనేవి కొన్ని.
మెటీరియల్స్ అండ్ సర్వర్ డీటెయిల్స్ కదా. సో మెటీరియల్ సర్వర్ డీటెయిల్స్ వీడియోస్ ఒకసారి చెక్ యా.
అది ఇంకొకటి మీరు నాకు ఐ మీన్ అబాప్ చెప్పేటప్పుడు టాస్క్స్ ఒక అంటే అబాప్ అనేది ఏదో ఒక ఫంక్షన్ మాడ్యూల్ కి సపోర్ట్ చేస్తుంది కదా, అంటే లైక్ ఫినాన్స్ కో లేకపోతే బిఐ హనా బిడబ్ల్యూ అబాప్ అని, అంటే ప్రతి ఒక్క మాడ్యూల్ కి అబాప్ ఉంటుంది కదా.
ఇప్పుడు
ఒక అబాప్ రిక్వైర్మెంట్
ఎంఎం పిపి క్యూఎం డబ్ల్యూఎం, సో ఇట్లా ఏమైనా లాజిస్టిక్స్ కి సంబంధించిన ఏ మోడ్యూల్స్ కైనా ఎఫ్ఐసిఓ కైనా ఏ దేనికైనా కూడా ఇప్పుడు మనం నేర్చుకునే కోడ్ అబ్సల్యూట్లీ ఫైన్. ఒక్క హెచ్ఆర్ మట్టుకు అబాప్ హెచ్ఆర్ అని ఉంటది.
సో మీరు నాకు టాస్క్ ఇచ్చేటప్పుడు జస్ట్ ఒక పికో టీ కోడ్ లో ఏదైనా ఎన్హాన్స్మెంట్ కానీ ఏదైనా అలా ఉంటాయి కదా, అంటే మీకు వస్తుంది కదా రియల్ టైం రిక్వైర్మెంట్ ఏదో ఒక మాడ్యూల్
ఈ మూడిట్లో పట్టుకుంటాం, ఈ ఎఫ్ఐసిఓ ఎస్డిఎంఎం లో పట్టుకుంటాము, ఎందుకంటే ఇవి మెయిన్ మాడ్యూల్స్ కాబట్టి. ప్రతి ఒక్క కంపెనీకి 3 మాడ్యూల్స్ ఉంటాయి కదా,
వాటిలో మీరు ఇస్తే నాకు అప్పుడు ఫంక్షనల్ టీమ్ తో ఎలా వర్క్ చేస్తాము, ఎలా నేను పికోలో రియల్ టైం ది ఎలా చేయొచ్చు అని కూడా చూడొచ్చు కదా. దానికోసం
చూడొచ్చు తప్పకుండా.
నేను ఫర్దర్
అంటే మీరు నేను ఒకటి క్లియర్ గా చెప్తాను, జస్ట్ ఐఎమ్ స్విచింగ్ ఆఫ్ దట్ రికార్డింగ్.